So let's take a little journey and to look at what this third treasure, Shen, actually is. Why was it that it was the most, considered the most important, relevant treasure? Pretty much like the ultimate intention of the Jing herbs and the Qi herbs and all the practices was to ensure that we develop our Shen. Why is that? I mean, it's our consciousness. It's translated as our soul. The mind comes in as one of the translations, and that's true. But the mind can be a way in which our Shen, you know, it's our personality as well. And so when the mind is quiet and actually be able to be a facilitation for bringing our personality and our spirit forth, when the mind isn't monkey minding and blocking the spirit from actually coming through, it's a way in which our personality can be expressed. And so that's why that was there, and as an expression of what our Shen, our consciousness, our spirit, our personality, our joy for life, what it is. And you've got to remember, I want you to start thinking about this over decades long period, and you can start even feeling and thinking about how your Shen has developed over your lifetime and how you can create a lifestyle and have practices and herbs that facilitate you further developing your Shen. Let's have a look at what the character of Shen is. So words can only capture it so much, but the character, the written character, traditionally for Shen was depicted of up top, the stars, the sun, the moon, with a string going up with two hands pulling them down and pulling itself up, signifying this connection and this bridge to that which is more infinite, more overarching, the more spiritual and esoteric elements of life and our self, and that's what Shen is. If you can touch that, transcending, evolving spiritual energy, you know, the evolution of your personality and your capacity to be in joy in life, and your capacity to really bring forth and embody your more virtuous nature. You can let go over years and years and years. You can let go of, say, like resentment or timidness or frustration, deep-seated fears and angers, so you can become more and more comfortable within yourself. And that's what our Shen is. And we can look at, say, if you really want to understand, you know, what Shen would be in a highlighted way. Stephen Hawking was described in a book as, like, if you look at Stephen Hawking, this is a guy who was able to refined his mind, and he had a nice, you know, beautiful jovial personality and a mind that was really engaged, and that's his Shen coming through, even though he didn't have the Qi that could animate his body, and his Jing was degenerating, and he had degenerative diseases, and his tissue was degenerating, so the Jing was wasting away, but yet his Shen was still shining through. It can start to give you an understanding of what Shen is for you. And that's why we like the Shen herbs, because if there's anything we want to see happen in the world more, we want to see people developing their Shen, becoming less dysfunctional, less of an asshole, and more of a beautiful human that isn't projecting onto others, that can walk their own middle ground, not needing identities and deities as much necessarily, but finding that connection to that spiritual which is in yourself, which is why I like Daoism, because it's not deity based. It doesn't have an agenda of what you need to believe. It's just really developing yourself as a human and your personality and your spirit. You think about someone who's 80 and 90 years old, who they may be nice and healthy, strong Jing, quite active and animated still, got the Qi, but they've got this aliveness and twinkle in their eye. The eye is the window to the soul, and the eyes are the window to the Shen. And it's great to have strength and gains now, and have lots of energy now. But if there's anything that these tonic herbs and the philosophy teach us, and what we get taught of why the Shen herbs, reishi, asparagus root, pearl was some of the most absolutely revered, and why we like reishi so much, because it's such a potent Shen herb. We just like dropping reishi bombs of consciousness around the world, helping it facilitate people to grow and develop into themselves, and beautifully. If there's anything that's worth really aiming for, it's like, look at, ensuring that when you're 80 and 90 and 100, that you maintain that shine and that lust for life, and you bring your soul and your virtuous nature through. You don't have to be in states of projection, you don't have to hold on to your resentment. And that's something I'm saying to aim for over decades and decades and decades time, because we do have an epidemic, unfortunately, of not valuing that. And you see, unfortunately, sometimes, going into like a nursing home that, due to many factors, one, an unsupportive system, is it's just clouded eyes, and sometimes, a lack of capacity for the spirit to really shine through the heart with ease, so that we can really, really be in joy. And so I think we all know, and this isn't a thing of judgment. There's no right or wrong. Absolutely, everyone's on a different path, and I definitely know that. Who knows what's going to happen, and what challenges life throws at us. But as an intention for what we're intending for ourselves, let's aim for that. As we become an elder and that means, we're gonna have to get to work and develop ourselves and let go of a lot and develop our Shen, and and more and more and more have the capacity to live in joy. Just thank you all for watching this, and and I can see just through watching, you've got this dedication to developing your Shen and understanding, this most important aspect of Taoist tonic herbalism.